It's all really exciting, but I'm the most impatient person I know, and this is driving me bloody mad. Hello and welcome back to another one of these sporadic little episodes of The Recovering Entrepreneur. I said in my last video that it might be weekly, monthly, who knows what, and I can't even remember the last time that the last video went up, but I've got some time today, so I figured I'd do a little update and fill everybody in on where sort of Project X is at. So for those of you that don't know me, my name's Luke Garnsworthy. I used to be a restaurateur, had a couple of restaurants up until the end of last year, when the damage of the pandemic, both on the business and on my mental health, kind of took its toll, and I crumbled shortly before the business did. So I started this YouTube channel at the beginning of the year to kind of document my return back into business and some little projects I was trying to work on. None of which were Project X, but that's the way the world goes. And I tried a few things; they didn't really stick. They didn't scratch the itch, and here we have something totally different, which is really exciting. So, for anyone that watched the last video, I did a big pretentious reveal, as if anyone cares, of what Project X is, and I will be opening up a distillery. Fingers crossed. As long as HMRC and the various authorities play ball with me. Hopefully start production midsummer, so sort of late July, August time. But we'll get to that shortly. I have a company name called 3 Counties Spirits Co. 3 counties because we are literally on the verge of the 3 counties, Beds, Herts and Bucks here. I'm in Beds. The old restaurant was in Herts, and the new location, fingers crossed, the lease negotiation's still going through, or the lawyers are still doing their thing. It's in Fenny Stratford, so Bucks. So yeah, 3 counties kind of made a bit of sense. Also, if we need to grow and expand and relocate, it gives us 3 counties in which to move into. So yeah, just kind of thinking ahead on that one. It's going to be set up initially to produce rum, so from scratch, using a molasses base with some added cane sugar in there. And this rum is going to be called landlocked rum. For those that know me, I like to do things slightly differently. I don't like to kind of follow the crowd and do what's expected. You know, a lot of rum companies, especially the British ones, they play off of the whole, Navy, piracy, the sea, coastal, Caribbean, things like that. So I'm going kind of completely against the grain, calling it landlocked. We are pretty much in the most landlocked place in the country. So it's kind of appropriate. Having come from Exeter, so about 15-20 minutes from the coast, I'm now living in the most landlocked part of the country. Therefore, I am landlocked. And also, sometimes you can feel a bit landlocked in yourself. So we all like a little drink to kind of take care of those sort of things. So it's kind of, when life takes you from the coast, we're going to put a bottle of rum in your hand and some other tasty bits and bobs and take you back to the beach. So, really, really looking forward to it. It's got a nice little story to it. So we have some social media set up already. I'm not really doing anything on it, but I've got the 3 Counties Spirits Co. Instagram and Facebook set up. I'll pop a link in the description for that. And then also the Landlocked Rum Instagram and Facebook all set up, ready to go. If you're watching this, I'd love it if you could go and chuck us a follow, and then start liking the content as we put it out. The 3 Counties Spirits Co. pages will kind of document the process in the distillery, the journey from now until production starts, and then all the behind the scenes kind of stuff, and all the other products that we're going to get onto. I'll kind of touch on those shortly. And then the Landlocked Rum pages will obviously just be for the Landlocked Rum. and sort of showcasing what we're going to do there. So on the rum side of things, like I mentioned, it's going to be molasses based. I like those kind of like deep funky notes from the molasses, as opposed to sort of French style rums that use like sugarcane juice, a little bit more herbaceous and stuff. I like a deeper flavour to the rum. Obviously, as yet, I'm yet to produce any rum, and I'm just absorbing every bit of information I can online for when I finally get that license and I can start production. So fingers crossed it works. But we're going to start with a range of 4 rums. A classic white rum, obviously. For those that like a rum and coke or things like that, put them in your cocktails and your bases like mojitos and things like that. We're then going to do a spiced rum, because everyone does a spiced rum and they're really nice. I'm currently playing with some off-the-shelf rum, spicing it, kind of seeing what flavour profiles I like. I did try like an apple crumble kind of style with some orange in it, and it was too orangey, but that might be a little Christmas spiced rum later this year. So let's not write that one off just yet. I'm also going to do a pineapple rum. There's lots of different flavoured rums out there, and I've had the plantation pineapple before, and it is beautiful, just on ice. So I'm going to try and do that. I'm going to utilise my experience in the kitchen, specifically from dinner in London, when we used to spit roast pineapples and brush them with this beautiful caramel. I was never on pastry. I never got the secret recipes. However, I've done enough research and I've got enough experience where I've kind of done a little test run with that with some off-the-shelf white rum, and it works pretty well. So I'm going to be spit roasting pineapples over coals and then just brushing them with this rather cheeky little caramel. And then once they're really nicely cooked and juicy, chop them up, add them into the rum with a little bit of the caramel, and let that sort of sit for about a week. Again, I need to test it in mass production. But the first run in the kind of off the shelf white rum was really tasty. So I'm really looking forward to that one. And then for the booze hounds like me, a navy rum, simple white navy rum, 57%. Good for those stronger cocktails where you want a bit more alcohol punch. And I'm hoping, I'm yet to test it, I'm hoping it will have a little bit more flavour to it, so it won't be let down quite so much with the water. To start with, definitely going to be doing 700ml bottles, so that this is our 700ml bottle. Try and make sure the camera can get that. It's quite cool. It's a bit of an old school bottle. I quite like it. Straight, sleek, has this nice little flute, kind of makes me think of like an old school, pirate bottle. We did have some more sort of like bulbous samples, but I'm going for this. With the label I'm designing, I'm hoping it's going to be quite elegant and beautiful, yet still evoke some ideas of the piracy. If we can, we'll also be doing little 200ml bottles. Perfect for gifts and just trying things out. That's up in the air at the moment. We'll have to see how much money I can shake out of the money tree as to whether or not we order those straight away. Fingers crossed for Christmas. I think it'll be great. So for those that know me from the Crockers days, you'll probably know that I started making pre-mixed cocktails. We called it Crockers at Home. Something to keep me busy, keep some money coming in. And actually super, super popular. And in fact, people like the cocktails so much, we just started selling the pre-mixed on the bar. So I'm going to utilise that and put out initially a range of 4 rum-based cocktails, obviously, because we're making rum first. We're going to have a mojito, a pina colada, a daiquiri, and number 1 selling cocktail anywhere is an espresso martini. So I'm going to do a rum espresso martini. So they'll be launched as the rum launches as well, so that you can buy those. They're going to be in their own little 500ml bottle. It's quite a nice little beautiful bottle. Reminds me of, what is it, Aberlour, I think it is, whiskey. But yeah, looks really really nice. Really like it. And again, we've got quite nice, colourful, sort of blocky labels coming. So really excited about that. Then the idea with the distillery is to go and just, once we've got a licensed distillery, we can produce pretty much anything we want from it. We're not just going to specifically do rum. Gin, it's not top of the list. I think there's enough gin out there. And obviously you've got Campfire down the road, who are fantastic, but my favourite gin. So yeah, I may do a gin one day, but just as a little sort of self-indulgent project to see if I can create something that I really like. But first up will be whiskey, and specifically a bourbon style whiskey, so like corn based. My first spirit I properly fell in love with was Jack Daniel's, and okay, it's not a bourbon, it's a Tennessee whiskey, but it's along those lines. And I love bourbon. I've always got a bottle of Woodford Reserve on the go. And it takes a lot less time to produce and sell than like a single malt or Scotch style whiskey. It takes about 12 years to get a decent product. So going to be playing around with that as soon as I can, doing the fermentation, getting the wash right, and then come up with another brand for that outside of Landlocked. So ideas on a postcard, please. And then vodka makes sense. I've never been a vodka fan because I think it tastes of nothing. So I'm going to try making a vodka that tastes of something. A lot of them are triple distilled, which gives you a pure, really clean drink, but probably strips a lot of the flavour out. So I'm going to try and find some suppliers of different grains and stuff. I do like a rye whiskey, so I'm thinking maybe a rye vodka. And I've been looking for a rye vodka for a specific cocktail recently and struggled. So maybe that's it. But who knows? We'll play around with that. But the first thing is get the still installed. That's a 3-month wait list, or three month production time on the still, which is slightly concerning, as I want to start producing in August. But anyway, there's other means to start production on site, so that's not a problem. But yeah, outside of that, we've got the website set up. You can find it via landlockrum.com or threecountiesspiritsco.com. They both point to the same website. Not a lot on there at the moment, just a landing page. You can sign up to the mailing list. And kind of keep up to date with what's going on. One other thing I'm going to do, which I haven't mentioned yet, is create like a members club. So for a yearly subscription, people will get, first of all, one of each of the rums delivered to their door for free. Free delivery on all of their orders. Access to all of the little things I'm going to be playing around with. Because, I'm going to have a 200 litre still. And, I'll have some smaller, like, test stills. But there'll still be, 40, 50 bottles of all these little projects I'm going to do. Different flavoured rums, different styles of rum. The bourbon when it starts coming out, and vodkas. So people in the members club will just be getting, as I have it, I'll just be slipping little bottles of whatever is currently around into their orders, mainly for feedback. But then they'll also get early access to order the product. And I'm going to be aging stuff, so I'm going to be buying barrels, and I've got a long-term plan with this business to be producing 20 plus year old product. So it's going to be going down in barrel, but anything from 3 all the way up to 20 odd years. So there'll be a chance to maybe pre-order bottles out of those, years in advance, get a better price on it or something. I don't know. I haven't quite thought about that, but early access to all the exclusive bits and bobs. And then we'll be doing maybe like quarterly events at the distillery. I need to figure out kind of what those are going to look like. Probably, talks, tastings, maybe put on some food, chance to kind of see what's going on at that time and what projects I'm working on. So yeah, it's all really exciting, but I'm the most impatient person I know, and this is driving me bloody mad, having to sit around and wait and wait and wait. We should get the alcohol license for the building at the end of this month, and hopefully the lease will complete at the end of this month, at which point I'll be in the unit getting it ready, and fingers crossed, I haven't heard from HMRC yet. I must have sent their paperwork back 3 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, this massive wad of paperwork, and I haven't heard a peep. So I don't know what to make of it. But I'm literally just sitting around drinking a little bit too much and tinkering with things that shouldn't be tinkered really, and just be left alone. So that's about it really for this week. Obviously I've got all the other little bits and bobs that I started in January. The cookie site's still live, but nothing much happening there. Still doing my regular content creation with Crockers, so if you've liked any of that new stuff recently, then thank you very much. But yeah, in the meantime, just in this limbo phase, if you could just go over to Instagram or Facebook, find the Landlocked Rum or Three Counties Spirits Co. pages, give them a little like and a follow, and then I'll start putting out some content fairly soon, once I finalise the labels and stuff. So yeah, that's it. I hope everyone's having a wonderful time, and I will catch up with you again soon.